Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday afternoon. Hope yours is going well. We've got another Seahawks video to get to today, but first we just hit 3,180 subscribers to the channel. I want to give a shout out to all the subscribers, and of course, special tip of the cap goes to the channel members, especially elite channel members Brendon, Mikel, Hasher for MVP, VGK Tiger 75, Ryguy, Salacious, Crumb, Brendan Nelson's Haircut, TlVlO, ItsHoof, the Reno, 12th Man, Austin Roberts, and Scott Todd. All right. So this is normally the part of the day where I would start talking about draft prospects I want the Seahawks to take a look at, but we're going to be putting that on hold for a day. Something pretty significant happened this morning. I want to do a follow-up video today instead, and on top of that, the signing of Aldon Smith has slightly changed our priorities in the draft. As I already went over in my previous video, I no longer see SAM linebacker being any sort of a real need in this draft. I would consider it to be a low need at best, honestly. So let's keep talking about the Aldon Smith thing. First of all, there's the money. I want to say real quick, I have heard from unreliable and unconfirmed sources that the one-year deal is for $1.75 million. I have not been able to get official confirmation on that. As far as I know, he's looking at 1 year, $1.75 million, which is really good. Now, if this ends up being something different, I'll let you know. However, it is my understanding as well that whatever the contract is, the Cowboys do not expect to get a compensation pick for him, meaning he must have not gotten paid very much, whatever it is. So, money-wise, I think we're good on the Aldon Smith front. However much he got, it wasn't that much. It was probably around the $1.75 million. It's not like teams were knocking down his door to sign him, right? So how much money can he really get? Okay, let's talk about another angle to this Aldon Smith thing, because even though Aldon Smith might not play more than 500 snaps for the Seahawks this year, maybe even less, his presence does have a big impact. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So Brady Henderson on Twitter had this tweet a little earlier today where he addresses Aldon Smith's weight, because there is a little bit of misinformation here. When Aldon Smith played for the 49ers and Raiders, he was listed at 255 pounds. Pro Football Reference still has him listed as 255 pounds. He's not 255 pounds anymore. The Cowboys last year listed him at 280. That is a big difference. That is 25 pounds. And I want to say there is more to a defensive lineman than his weight. But 255 versus 280 is pretty significant. And if he really has bulked up this much, we need to reevaluate things a little bit. Let's take a look at the defensive ends on this team and how much they weigh. You will notice something very clear and obvious when you're comparing them. So we have L.J. Collier. He's the heaviest defensive end at 291, which is why I expect him to move inside. He's just a little too heavy to be a good pass rusher from the outside, but if he bulks up a little bit, you move him inside, you've really got something. So, 291. Kerry Hyder, 5-tech, 280 pounds. Rasheem Green, 5-tech, 279 pounds. What did we say Aldon Smith weighed again? 280. Okay. So Aldon Smith, if these numbers are correct, weighs basically the exact same weight as our other two 5-techs, Kerry Hyder and Rasheem Green. So maybe Aldon Smith could be a 5-tech in this defense. Maybe. We don't know. This is just in terms of his weight. If you scroll down a little bit on Brady Henderson's tweet, he mentions this. No word yet on the plan for Smith, but 280 is big enough to play their bigger defensive end spot. 280 is sufficient to play the 5-tech in this defense. Now, Dunlap actually weighs more than all three of these guys. He's 285, and he's still a Leo, so this is not some end-all, be-all, but this opens up new possibilities. And you can see our other nominal Leos are 259, 265, 267. These small differences in weight do matter. 20, 25 pounds, pretty big difference. So maybe Aldon Smith fits in as a 5-tech in this defense, at least some of the time. And maybe because he is 280, we need to kind of get off the idea of using him as a SAM. SAM linebacker weighing 280 pounds might be pushing it. He might not be able to cover as well as you need to. So let's reevaluate. Let's go to the roster chart and take a look. So forget Aldon Smith as a SAM. Forget him as a Leo. What if he ends up being the backup 5-tech behind Ihde with Rasheem Green being the 3rd stringer? Okay. Now we have a little bit of balance on this defense. We have 4 Leos and 3 5-techs. We're getting closer to something that is balanced and sensible. However, most teams, in fact, I would say almost every team, does not carry 4 Leos and 3 5-techs. That's 7 defensive ends total. By the way, you still have LJ Collier, who, even though I expect him to move to 3-tech, still might play 5-tech in 1 or 2 situations. So we're still a little overstuffed at the position. So how are we going to cut down at Leo? This is where the creativity comes in, and this is where the Seahawks do start to play with fire. But there is potential here for a little bit of creative roster management that should allow us to keep all of this talent, get them all on the field, and give them all the opportunity to show what they can do without forcing them to play radically out of position. Darrell Taylor. There has been some buzz, and I'm probably going to make another video about this at some point, but Darrell Taylor might be the guy that we move to Sam. He weighs about 265 pounds, I think. It's a little heavier than you would like, but that should be pretty easy for him to change if need be. Move Benson Mayowa over here, and now you have defensive balance. You have 3 Leos, you have 3 5-techs, you have 2 1-techs, you have 2 3-techs, you have guys who can move around. Dunlap can play 5-tech. Aldon Smith and Rasheem Green can both move to 3-tech. LJ Collier can move to 5-tech. Poona Ford can move to 1-tech. You've got 10 defensive linemen who are all good enough to warrant at least some amount of playing time in the NFL. So, boom. This would really take care of all of our defensive roster issues. And I put issues in quotations marks because it's a good issue to have. I don't even know if you would really call it an issue, but it is something we need to solve. If Darrell Taylor can play Sam linebacker, then we're good at linebacker too. We've got 5 linebackers on the team. You only need to play 2 linebackers for most of a game. You've got guys that you're excited about at Will and Sam, young guys who you think have potential. Hey, it's coming together if Darrell Taylor can do it. And I'll have more to say in a future video, but Darrell Taylor played a good amount of linebacker at college, supposedly. So we'll have to take a look at that. But this is how the roster can really make sense on the defensive side. Put Aldon Smith at 5-tech. Have him rotate in and out with Ihde and Rasheem Green. Put Darrell Taylor at Sam. Everything perfectly balanced, as all things should be. All right, guys. That's probably the last thing I'm going to say about the Aldon Smith signing in a video. He might not play more than 500 snaps for us this year, but he's going to have an impact. And if he helps us balance out our roster by doing this, that's a pretty big impact signing. Streams coming up later tonight. We'll discuss this some more if you guys would like to. But as of right now, this is how I see the roster best coming together. If we can do these creative moves, and keep in mind, we do maintain our flexibility because even if we put these guys at one position, they can move to the other positions if they need to or if things simply aren't working out. There's a lot of flexibility in this roster. But this is how I see it coming together best right now. Let me know what you guys think. We'll talk about it later in stream if you would like to. I'll see you guys in a few hours. But I'm out of here. Go Hawks. Great job this offseason overall. But don't forget to bring it home. We're not done yet, and I don't think we should be. See you guys later.